Hello, good afternoon. My name is Manuel Cerda, and I'm an inspiring school administrator. Today, I'll be going ahead and discussing the topic navigating early career challenges through the lens of breakthrough leadership. And this presentation will also be based on Chapter 5 of Principles of Desiree Okino, found in 2016, and the case study, What Do You Do All Day by Almighty Long and King 2015. My goal is to reflect on leadership challenges new principals will face and share practical strategies grounded in research and personal experience that can help turn struggle into success. So, the first thing I'm going to go ahead and talk about is the case study. In the case study, Bringdale High School is in their second year and is facing several urgent problems. The school's accountability rating has dropped. It is in need of improvement in year one due to declining math scores. This decline can occur despite the district implementing a new intervention program, one that has significant financial backing. The math department, in some cases, feels discouraged, and the rest of the faculty feels neglected and underappreciated. There are also serious concerns about equity. One student expresses the fear of exclusion of being gay, and Hispanic students are basically being making fun at for being low or for scoring low and being low socioeconomic. Meanwhile, the principal is dealing with special education concerns, teacher burnout, a disgruntled community, an upcoming meeting with the assistant superintendent, and it's just full of so many things going on. A realistic portrait of an early principal. So I'm gonna go ahead and move on and talk about chapter 5. So in chapter 5 of Breakthrough to the Principles, it outlines five core leaderships that can help an administrator prioritize what matters the most. The first thing is driving consistent instructional practice. The second is building a strong staff culture. The third is leading with equity. The fourth is developing a leadership capacity. And the fifth, managing school operational systems effectively. These are some practices that are not just about the realistic. There are high things that come with challenges, which are outlined throughout the case. And I'm going to go ahead and talk about some things that happen in Bridgestone Principal Experience. So, one of the things that happens in this case is the drop of math scores. While the school implemented many new programs, the result didn't follow. It revealed that there's a gap in implementation and monitoring. So back to chapter 5, it also helped emphasize the importance of systems of tracking and instructional quality and student learning. It talks about interim assessments, the classroom walkthroughs, and real-time feedback, which are essential for success. As a campus leader, I found that teachers are more successful when supporting in both consistent and personalized. Instead of waiting for end of the year data, we need to keep going with the checkpoints. We need to adjust and strategically and provide different coaching aspects. As a principal in this case, it could have created a tighter data to action plan to avoid surprises and support that the math team had before it collapsed. So what what the case highlights is that there's a division happening with the staff. The teachers outside the math department, they feel ignored. Well, one of the veteran teachers even said, "No one understands how hard we work." This is basically something that can develop a toxic environment, and if it's not attended or unaddressed. So chapter 5 helps emphasize how a high performing schools they're built through a shared ownership and respect. As a leader, you should regularly celebrate small wins and ensure that the transparency of decision in the making. From my own experience, I think a if someone is in a brief shutout and in a staff meeting or handwriting notes, it can boost the morale of people around you. The principal should facilitate cross departmental collaboration and ensure that no one feels isolated. Everyone has to feel like they're a family. They have to build that trust within each other in order for the success to continue and develop into something that will help you achieve your vision and your goals. So one of the things is that can cause trouble. In the case, it involves a student who feels unsafe at the school due to bullying over his sexual orientation. Like, this is something that there are reports also of teachers being ignored, sped students, and rumors blaming Hispanic students for the drop in test scores. All this is red flags that should not be entertained. They should be right away, not ignored, and people should look at it. So through the breakthrough through the principles, it leads for equity. It means for every student to be known. They have to be valued. They have to be supported. It has to be sort of like, as stated, the equity can help leaders uncover what how successful something happened. So through this situation, I recommend the principal must act quickly with a sense of urgency and strength. They need to reinforce the inclusion, they need to provide training for the teachers and staff, and most importantly, they have to make sure they create a safe reporting environment where everyone can be successful. So through my work and through the research I've done, diverse students has to make sure that they feel involved. That is the only way your success would happen. I've seen also where students' voice are heard and they feel that they're part of the school. They feel equity. And then all this can help create the culture and climate, which all it all adds to building a successful school. So, like how there's a saying, equity is not a one time conversation, it has to be a leadership commitment. It all has to start with the leaders. If the leaders start putting their part, then everything else will fall into place. The teachers and staff will buy into the system. The students will fall towards that, and then it will become a successful school. So, also, like in the case, the principal is clearly overwhelmed. They're trying to handle every issue personally. They need to form a managing student discipline to dealing with angry parents. This is unacceptable and not reliable. So, through chapter 5, it recommends developing a disturbed leadership model where assistant principals, instructional coaches, department chairs, teacher leaders all play a role. In this, that's the way that the campus can create a leadership team, empowering the staff and reduce the burnout as an administrator. The principal should also start being engaged with SPEDs, bilingual coordinators to lead professional development to make sure that all the inclusive practices are being met. It should empower others to build collective efficiency and lighten the load as a principal. The other thing is how to manage what's going on. So, how to manage your operation. So, as a principal in this case, reacting to every fire instead of leading strategically. There were complaints of slow responses to discipline referrals, gaps in communications. Effective leaders were not being created because they were trying to micromanage so many things. Scheduling routines, defining staff roles clearly, and setting time aside should help all this fall into place and create successful school. So one of the key learnings is basically protect your administrative team. It's by making everything successful, starting from the small things of a small morning walkthrough, checking on your staff, and making sure everything falls into place. So throughout this whole journey of research, I have also felt that as a leader, you have to make sure that you don't get frustrated. You have to make sure that you balance everything throughout and make sure you follow the five leadership levels, especially focusing on your culture and developing leaders around yourself. Just like the principal in this case, you basically have to make sure you meet the needs. So in all respects, the main thing is whether you're facing declining scores, equity issues, or more problems, the key is to stay focused on what matters the most, building a school culture where every student thrives and every teacher feels valued. Thank you for your time. I hope you enjoy it. Have a great day.